Hey guys, Eric Zeigel with Game Like Training Golf. When it comes to putting, the eyes are so important. And what I mean by that is where your eyes are relative to the golf ball, whether they're too much on the inside or too far on the outside of the golf ball, plays a huge role in your ability to not only aim the putter, but also in how the putter is going to want to move. So how do we check where our eyes are? Well, quite simply, we use something like the Eyeline putting mirrors. So Eyeline makes a couple different options when it comes to these putting mirrors. This is their small one. So this is the Eyeline Mini. And then they also have the Classic, which is much larger in size. And there's a lot of different ways you can use this, but it's very important that you understand where your eyes are when it comes to putting, because that field of vision, where you're looking and how you're perceiving straight lines, is going to play a huge role in your ability to sink more putts. So let's go ahead, open these up, talk about the differences between the two, as well as a couple different ways that you can use the Eyeline putting mirror to help you improve your putting performance.
The eyes, Chico, they never lie.
So the first thing to note when you get your Eyeline putting mirror is they do have a protective laminate on top of the actual mirror itself. My suggestion would be to not take that off for as long as possible, because it will start to get scratched. And as it gets scratched, then take it off and you'll be able to get or be able to use this product for even longer. They also send you this protective case. Make sure you're putting it in this every time you're using it, because once it starts to get scratched, it becomes a little bit harder to see your eyes when you're looking down at it. And that's the whole purpose of it, is so you can look down and see your reflection in this mirror. So make sure that you take that cover off. I would suggest leaving it on for as long as you can, and then once it starts to get a little beat up, you can take it off, and it's like having a new mirror underneath it. So obviously a difference in size between the large and the small. The big thing to note really that's different between these is the small one, you can only set up tees. They have these holes right here where you can set up tees for a gate drill, and you can also put some tees if you're trying to control the length of the stroke. Or I've used it too where I put a really low tee here. If a player is maybe taking the putter too low in the takeaway, I can put a tee there to where they have to make sure they raise it up a little bit earlier. But that's really all you can do with the small one as far as the holes go. Whereas the large one has a lot more options as to what you can do with the holes. It has the ones here for the gate. It also has one here for the putter face, or for the putter head, to make sure that you're making center contact. You can choose how tight or narrow you want to make that. And then they also have ones kind of on the back here as well, where you can put tees. If a player is maybe too inside on the backstroke or too outside on the backstroke, you can put tees there to encourage changes in the actual look and the aesthetic of the stroke as well. And then it has the same 3 holes here for controlling the length of the stroke. And then they also have some on the outside if you really want to make sure it's not moving while it's on the ground. You can put a tee in there and get this stable into the ground. So each mirror looks pretty much the same. It has this black line here, which is going to represent the target line, and then the ball is going to sit right in this kind of gap here. The ball sits right there. You have this red line to make sure that the putter face is square to your intended target, and then you have obviously all these other lines for when you're looking down at it. What most coaches are going to suggest is that you have your eye line either on this black line, which would mean that your eyes are directly on top of the ball, or slightly on the inside. So usually it's anywhere in between this black line and this red line is what most coaches are going to suggest. I would suggest going to a PGA coach near you and asking them to help you find your eye line, because it's different for everybody. How everybody perceives straight lines is very unique and individual to that person. So make sure that you're not trying to seek something that's not going to help you. Having your eyes directly over the ball might be great for one player, might not be right for you. So make sure you seek out some guidance and help when determining where your eyes need to be. So if you're trying to decide which Eyeline mirror you want to go with, if you want to go with the Classic or if you want to go with the Mini, I would ultimately say it depends on what you're going to be using it for. If you're looking to be working on or having a simple way to start to change your stroke, like I said, if it's too much on the inside, then you're going to want to get the Classic, the bigger one, because you have the ability to put those tees there. The bigger one also has the benefit because it is wider. So if I put these on top of each other, because it has that added kind of length or width to it here. You're able to see your shoulders a little bit more, so you can check shoulder alignment as well. So that's an added benefit to the Classic. Really the only challenge to this one is it's not as easy or as portable as the Mini. So the Mini is really slick, it's small. It's a great thing that you could use, right before tournaments. You can slide it in and out of your golf bag, and it's not going to break because it's a little bit smaller. Whereas this big one, if you're throwing your bag in and out of your car, it might break. I have seen them break. They are very sturdy, but usually up here, kind of towards the fins, I've seen those snap off every once in a while. So you have to make sure that you are taking care of these. So that would be the only thing to think about. What are you going to be using it for? Are you going to be traveling a lot? Do you want it in and out of your bag? Your golf bag for easy access and easy use, then you're probably going to want to go with the Mini. If you're looking for something that's going to be a little bit more detailed in what you're trying to do with your stroke, as far as looking at shoulder alignment, really being able to have all the options and the functionality of the different tee holes, then I would suggest going with the Classic. Either way, make sure that you check out the Eyeline putting mirrors, because these are really going to help you find consistency in eyeline placement, which is going to help you improve your putting performance. It's going to help you aim better, and it's going to help you move that putter more efficiently, and the hopes are you're going to start making a lot more putts.